Hello. This week I have read the Hunter x Hunter Volume 3 and 1, Volume 3. One moment. Which spans Volumes 7, 8 and 9. Demon Slayer Volume 10. Demon Slayer Volume 10 had 200 pages. Hunter x Hunter, the 3 in 1 edition, that includes Volume 7, 8 and 9, which is the third 3 in 1 volume, contains 576 pages, and Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 30, which is 200 pages. I have read the first chapter of this book here, and I've read a chapter of Shadowborn, and on the third 3 in 1 of Night World I am on page 310. Now, I love the Hunter x Hunter volume mainly because it did contain the controversial and yet very cool fight between Hisoka and Gon. And if you've read it, you would understand why that is controversial, as well as it introduced the Phantom Troop, which was very well done. The Demon Slayer Volume 10 was very interesting, hilarious, and showed just how bonkers the characters can get, including showing a little bit more of sleeping Zenitsu and that character. And as for JJK Volume 30, it ended on a very, I would say, yes, it was rushed, as everyone keeps on saying it was a very rushed ending, and I do agree. And yet it did have Fushiguro actually laugh. And if you know who that character is, you also know just how that character does not usually laugh. In the meantime, it did its multiple endings well, a bit like paying homage to how Lord of the Rings did that very same thing. And interestingly enough, Lord of the Rings actually is featured in the earlier chapters, and in many ways it does show a glimpse of the earlier chapters of JJK before the whole mess happened and things went from bad to worse to a very interesting ending. In the meantime, I haven't really been reading that much, mainly because I've been going to bed late because of reasons, as well as going to Woman's Glow and seeing the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie, which has the Hulk, the Punisher, and Jean Grey, all of which actually work within the movie, as well as the arc that Peter actually has to go on, both as Peter and as Spider-Man, as well as showing a very mature storytelling that trusts the intelligence of the audience, especially in the beginning, instead of absolutely 100% insulting them, as well as it has a lot of heart and a lot of meaningful things. And on top of that, I would say that the whole thing was a very good movie. And on top of that, if there is another thing that I would say about the movie, is the action sequences rocked. If you love action, it's definitely in there. And on top of that, it doesn't rush the slow moments and does take time to attend to character development throughout the entire movie. And when I say it's a very mature movie, I don't mean that it's mature in that one guy that's just found out what sex and swearing is. I mean the actual mature stuff that kids can understand and learn from, and adults could also equally do so. And I would say that's the entire week. And I do hope to get more reading done, as I have a lot free over a week. Hopefully get to bed a little earlier than usual, which hopefully will be on and not on, and not on. Anyway, see you next week. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for subscribing to that one subscriber. And thank you for liking this, for that, especially when it came to the one that I had last week. And thank you for everything else. Thank you for keeping me accountable. Thank you for keeping increasing the amount of people I'm accountable to. After all, we all know that peer pressure can work. And thank you for everything else too. And thank you. And God bless every single one of you, and see you next week.